What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood? And welcome back to another episode of the Good in the Hood podcast. I am, as always, your host, Juice. Joined this week with a special guest, man, straight from New York, the homie Mo. How's it going, Mo?
What's good? How y'all doing?
Doing great, doing great. Of Aspire Bigger, Inspire Big, Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger. I'm sorry,
There you go.
I got it out. Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger, LLC. You're a life coach. You do a lot of motivation. A lot of motivation comes out your voice, out your words. And it's a very great follow on Instagram, on Twitter, just to get motivation, just get information. So first off, I want to have you introduce yourself and talk about your mission and journey.
All right. All right, not a problem. My name is Mo. I'm a women's empowerment coach, life coach. Um, I made a little something up. I'm a vision building strategist, right?
I like that.
and what
Words
that
on
means
board.
is right. So what that means is just like I'm going for mine, and anybody who's looking to go for theirs, I'm a champion you, and I'm gonna do everything that I can in my power, and even beyond my power, to help you really align with your purpose in life the best way that you can. So that's who I am, and that's what I do with Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger. Had a little podcast here where I bring on people who are inspirational. I'm sure Juice will be on there soon.
Please,
Okay.
bless you, bless you.
And I have a community for women that we do that. We in there day in and day out, and I just really live my message day in and day out. So that's how I start, and that's how I get it done.
Absolutely, I love that. I love the energy. And how long you been doing the podcast now?
Man, the pandemic, what it did to to the most of us. So I started it about less than a year, now.
Because I remember when we first interacted, this little trend popped off online called Clubhouse, and
Yeah.
it from the jump it was great meeting dope people like yourself. We was in a little group called Jumping Off the Stoop. Shout out to Ashante Miller,
Yes.
DJ Who, a lot of dope people over there who were talking about just building themselves up, and that's when like your voice really rang off a lot in those rooms because you just had a real just positive energy, and you kind of spoke putting faith in yourself, and you spoke that a lot in many ways. Where did you think you developed that instinct to just have faith in yourself and just push through it all?
Oh, honestly, I had to. I think a lot of us have a little bit of that story where, you know, you just gotta, your back is against the wall, whether or not, you know, it's on you, or it's somebody who did it to you, or a combination of both. So I just had to, and life is not easy in general. For all of us, we all got obstacles, and we all have things that we have to fight. So I definitely had to make a decision for myself and say, like, it's either I'm gonna be my own superhero, or I'm gonna think that I'm gonna keep waiting for somebody to come save me. We all know that that's not the way life goes,
So
right? So that's
absolutely.
that's the way I push myself beyond saying somebody's gonna help me one day, or I ask for help and I'll get it. Like, nah, I could be my own superhero. I could be strong for me.
Right.
And that was the beginning of it for me.
And you say that, but at the same time, like I feel like you also know that everyone does not have that. Everyone doesn't have that instinct, that courage off the bat. They have it in them, but don't know how to use it yet. And I feel like that's kind of what makes your brand so dope to me because even the title, Aspire Big, Inspire Bigger. Like, of course, have your dreams be big, but I feel like seeing someone accomplish their dreams or reach their aspirations inspires others. So talk about that part of it, wanting to push others along with yourself.
You know what? That part definitely came out of me having to do it on my own,
Mm,
to be very honest. And I know that a lot of the things that I went through, I was just not having the people around me who really been through that. Now my friends and my family have been through other things, um, that I have been through too. But it was just specific things that they had never been through, that I had to get through. It was just God and me. Like I was like, all right, God, what you got? What you got for me? Cause you said so. That means you gotta.
yeah.
Hey, if you don't live up to that word, then you're not who you said you are. So, and then I had to tap into that. So that those things in my life, right? And so I'll give you a little example. In 2011, I got pregnant with twins, and I got to 5 months, and I went into labor, and my babies didn't make it. Nobody around me has ever been through that. I lost my mother at 12, so it's not even like if she had something that happened to her body, that her let her down in a pregnancy before me, or even after me. I have no idea. I have no idea. I asked my dad. He's like, "You here? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?" So, um, a woman and their mom, or a woman and their child, some things will happen to your body that might happen to your daughter's body, and you be able to talk about that with her when she's going through it. So I had to go through that alone, and my friends and other people around me hadn't gone through that. I definitely had to go through that alone. But when I went through it and I shared my story, um, there was other women who just came out the woodwork, like, yo, thank you for sharing this story. I really needed it. I lost my baby yesterday. I lost my baby last month, and that's years and years after I had shared my story. So I realized, like, when you go for your healing, when you go for the bigger picture, you really, a lot of people call it like sharing your testimony. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. Some people don't take that step to really just share their story, but that's really all it is. It's really just saying, like, yo, I've been through this, and I feel alone in it, and I don't know if I'm alone, but I'm gonna just share it just in case other people are not, are going through it, and that's what I did. And so when I saw that people were like responding to it, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this all the time. I'd rather be the one to say I can help you out than the one who's like, somebody help me. That's just, maybe that's the Harlem. I don't know.
I feel that. And do you think, in a way, that helping others or even speaking to others is therapy for you?
Oh, do I feel like it's therapy for me? I feel like it's a
Therapeutic.
learning experience. I feel like it's something that I learn from every time. I learn how much I don't know about what to expect out of life, and how much uh, life repeats itself too, all at the same time. So I think it's a learning lesson. I don't know if it helps undo any things that are going on psychologically for me, but it definitely lets me know that, like, all right, this world is bigger than all of us, so I could be patient with myself. So I
Absolutely.
guess maybe it's a little bit therapeutic, a little bit in that way.
And do you always feel 100% like comfortable in that space of like, because even like I said, on especially on Clubhouse, like we're just a bunch of strangers in that area. Even like I'm sure you feeling that way with podcasting. It's strangers. We're talking to strangers for the most part. You always had that that comfort in speaking to large crowds or speaking to in public?
Nah,
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 nah, nah, nah.
absolutely not. I'm a super
Mhm,
introvert. I even on my podcast, I even have a space on a podcast called Introvert Corner.
mhm. Yep.
I don't talk to strangers. Again, I say I'm from Harlem. We don't really talk to people who's not from our block.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way it goes.
I feel like this virtual world we live in now is kind of like taking the stranger element. I wouldn't talk to nobody walking down the street for real, but on the
Mm-hmm.
pod, I feel comfortable on the pod. I feel comfortable talking on the podcast, talking on
Mm-hmm.
the clubhouse, whatever. Back then, like it was cool, but like if I meet a person on the street, I'm saying I'm doing a head nod. I'm moving along. You know what I'm saying because
Yeah,
I'm
you better
cool.
than me. You better than me.
You
Just
ain't
I'm
doing a
not
head
heading
nod.
out nobody. Don't look at
You
me. What
fucking
you
do
looking
it.
at?
That's
Yeah, what you looking at?
Chicago.
Yeah, how can I help you?
It's Chicago. We the Midwest. We'll do a little head nod or something.
Yeah, a little bit more cordial. Don't look at me in my eye. I don't know you. I don't know if you now I gotta watch my back. You looking at me too hard, sir.
Oh man. And how do you feel about the social media world? How does it feel engaged in social media?
Well, I think social media is a platform. It's not the real world.
Right.
You
That's
understand?
it.
Like, you it's a platform for you to do what you came to do. If it's for you to look at something because you want to decompress and have fun and watch funny videos, you could do that. That's like watching TV. That's what social media is like. If it's a place where you want to grow your business, you could do that. It's so I don't feel no pressure. And even in real life, though I'm not a big people crowd person or whatever, I, right? But I'm definitely that person who's gonna go in the room and go all the way to the corner and put my back to the wall so I can watch everybody. For what? Like, what am I, the bad guy? Like, what? Who am I? Who's after me? Nobody. But
forward all times.
yeah, like this. Like, come on, you the only girl doing this. Sit down, love. Like, you all right? I don't know. But we all grow up in different ways. So I think that's just, a part of my life, But I don't really feel, even in saying that, I don't really feel pressure on a day to day to be anything but me. So social media isn't too different for me. And dealing with people in social media, it's even less pressure, I should say. If living life is pressure filled in that way, social media is even less pressure. If I don't really like what you talk about, I'm gonna block you.
Yeah, social media is weird for me. Like social media, like you said, is not the real world. But at the same time, I really hate being on it as much as I gotta be for the podcast. I hate having to do multiple posts, but it's part of it. It's part of this thing I love doing. Like, but at the same time, less activity on social media, the better day I'm having. Like
Right.
it's because
Right.
you just get in a trap. I feel like at times. That's why I couldn't do Clubhouse for too long. I did Clubhouse a good 2 months straight, and then I realized like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of voices. It's a lot
It's
of
a lot of
talking. It's a lot of that. You don't realize
yeah.
how bugged out it is to listen to so many voices and not see faces. Like that's when you realize like, oh, all right, I need video. Like I at least need a video.
Something. Yeah,
Y'all all gonna talk? Like
after a while, I just started
freak
like
out.
picking people who was dope and like, let me just get you on a podcast and talk to you this way because otherwise, I feel like also people were putting on like these fake personas. I felt like after a while, like everyone became like this executive in their mind or some shit. Like, hold on, chill out. You're not in the music industry yet, man. Like, what are you doing?
Right. You on SoundCloud, brother. Come on.
You know
Bring it in. Bring it in.
how do you feel about because like you post, you keep it going. Like you like a machine on your social media, especially Instagram, your daily affirmations. Like, you keep it coming. How do you kill it at that so easily? Look like
I'm be honest. I got business coaches. I got guidance,
mm.
and when I'm too busy, I don't post, and I'm okay with that.
Mm.
Like, I
You
mean,
make it sound so
I
easy.
have,
You make
like
it sound so
that's my life, right? It's like if I
hard.
can't do it right now, I ain't gonna do it. Like and I'm okay with that. And because what you gonna do? Like, what can you do about it? You have to do what you can do when you can. I work very hard. I'm still a 9 to 5er. I got my my business that I'm growing. And I go to school full time. So like I just have to be, and I'm not no I won't play myself like that, but I'm not no little girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm an older
I knew
woman.
you wanted to say like, is she gonna say this for real? I'm like, is she gonna be that New York right now? Let's see if she says it for real.
No, chill, chill, chill. I'm not no little girl, so I have responsibilities. I have parents that are getting older. Like I'm responsible to them, and I make sure that I put them, even if I gotta put them before me, I'm doing that. So you know, I I just I just do what I can and when I can, and if I could get help, then I do that, or guidance. That's the most important thing to me. I think that a lot of people think that they have to think of everything on their own, or they can't ask somebody for help because then they don't own what they're given. But that's not true. That's
Right.
not true. That's not the way life works. Nobody's getting that by themselves. When people say, "Oh, I had to do it on my own," like that just tells me like, oh, they had to struggle for it, but that's good. I'm glad you had to struggle for it. That mean more to you, but you didn't get it on your own though.
Absolutely.
Like you didn't get it on your own.
That's
So
real. Acknowledge those people that helped you for sure. And
mhm.
you mentioned earlier, and it was a great take, and I definitely going to take note of that and use it in my life as far as just accepting that you don't have time for certain things at times. So just accepting that, okay, I didn't do this today, just do it tomorrow. Just knowing you have time to do it. And in one of the key points of your the vast method ebook that you have out there right now is time management. You talk about time management, you talk about self care, accountability, and vision building. How essential is time management in life, in your opinion?
Man, if you don't got yourself blocked out, your time blocked out from the time you wake up till you go to bed, take it from me. I'm an old lady. No, I'm not an old lady, but you know what I'm saying? I have dealt with different ways of handling my life, and I haven't seen a better way to do it than to really wake up in the morning and know what you're going to do for the whole day. That don't mean that you get every single thing done, but
Right.
that also doesn't mean that you got 9,000 things in your head and you get zero done because you get overwhelmed. Plan it out. You'll also get to see how much extra time you really do have. Like when I look at my schedule, there's a mad brackets where it says downtime. You get to see that. You get to say, if I have a new idea, I got this downtime tomorrow for 5 hours. Whoever thinks, oh, I got 5 hours to myself tomorrow? You don't think that, but you do. You know what I'm saying? So time management is super important, because it really does help keep the progress going, while you in the middle of living your life. It just keeps it going right before, you don't have to think about it. All of the extra thinking really stops and can really stifle you. I did mixed martial arts for like almost 6 years. And when you okay, so when you're trying to cut weight to do a tournament or whatever it is, right? You better meal prep and you better menu plan at the beginning of the weekend, because if you don't, you're not going to drop a pound, right? You're not going to lose a pound, and you're not going to gain any strength because you're going to be eating improperly. You're not going to have the energy that you need to train properly. Meal prep, your whole week is panned out. You don't have to worry about nothing but taking the Tupperware out, putting it in the microwave. I know, hey, if you don't like the sound of it, it's all right. But you're gonna get them abs, you're gonna get the muscles, and you're gonna beat people up. That's what you came here for, So time management, those things are part of time management. Just doing the things that you need to do in order to get to where you need to be.
I
So
feel like
time management is super important for your life, man. You can't live without it. You can't be progressive without time management.
I feel like that kind of I guess goes hand in hand with discipline, right? Like that kind of like that's something that you really need in life is discipline. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you there's no real answer to it, but like from your life coach expertise, like how would you tell someone how to find discipline?
All right. There's all types of people. There's creative people.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who are sticklers for schedule, because without that they can't. Too many decisions just throw them off. And then there's people who kind of take it in as they come.
To learn.
Um, Usually the most creative and the sticklers are just as high strung as each other, right? And those are the people who are the easiest to kind of finagle into, like, hey, so if you want these things to work out for you, plan out your schedule. They creative people like I like to be free and I like to make things, but they like to be able to make things. So if you like to be able to make things, you got to hit that schedule up so you could do that. The people who are in the middle, it really just has to be about you have something in you that you really want to get out,
Their passion.
and yeah, and you just know, like, without this little piece right here, I'm never gonna share it with the world the
Mm.
way I want to. You have to know that it's hopeless for yourself without really sticking to the script. It's that, and you don't have to do it forever. It's for each little project. Yes, you have to stick to the script for each little project. But say this project going to take you three months out of your whole life. Stick to the script.
Yeah.
It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I did MMA. I wanted to meal prep. I wanted to lose weight. I had to lose a certain amount of pounds so I could be the biggest girl in the smaller category instead of being the smallest girl in the big category. So I
Yeah.
know I had but that was a big difference for me. But I know if I just stuck to the script the day after the tournament or after the tournament is over and I got my, my reward, I could go eat what I wanted to. Stick to the script. Then after you could reward yourself for certain things. So yeah, I think a relationship with discipline, it does differ for different type of people. But when you know what type of person you are, if you know you that type of person that's like, I could take it or I could leave it, you got to find that passion within, and then you'll find a way to stick to the discipline. And there's no sure way to help somebody do it. You really have to be passionate about what you want.
Absolutely. And I feel like that kind of coincides with another one of those four things: accountability. And of course, and kind of going off kind of accountability, like I feel like in today's climate, especially coming off that, I'm saying, as you called it, the pandemic, mental health is, I'm saying, the awareness of it is at an all-time high. I know you guys in the V.A.S.T community just did the self-awareness for May. Talk about self-care and just and protect your mental health is in today's climate.
Self-care, I say to my ladies all the time, especially for women, and for men too, but
Yeah.
I deal with women a lot. We think, oh, we overwhelmed or we uptight and we're going through certain things, and we're like, it's Sunday, I'm gonna go get my nails done, I'm gonna go get my hair done, I'm gonna go get my lashes, I don't know, all the kind of appendages y'all be adding to y'all. So it's fine, ladies, y'all beautiful, okay? So I'm gonna go,
Hey, you said it. You said it. I can't
hey,
get
it's a lot going on. I don't
it's a lot
I
going
just
on.
yeah, I just little African girl from Harlem. I don't know what y'all doing here, but it's fine. Um, but we think that's self-care. Wrong. That is, that's not self-care. That is what is the word for it? Maintenance. That is like uh
Materialistic. I don't know what you call that. Yeah, it's yeah.
I told you I'm old, so I'm forgetting the word. But that is like just that's like
Overcompensate.
taking a shower.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta do that. Self-care, um, in the way that I see it fits best in life is like therapy,
Mhm.
especially during this situation here. Some people were sitting in the house for a year and a half, uh, you know,
Man,
not able to work, or if they're working from home and they got their kids, they homeschooling. Y'all, I'm so sorry for the people who had to homeschool their kids and still work. I'm so sorry because I know that that will make you crazy. You don't have a minute to yourself. Therapy, man, just sitting down and listening to your own thoughts and talking to yourself as positive as possible, as super important for self-care. And then also, you got to get out and move a little bit. You know, whatever you're going to do, take a walk, run on the treadmill, pick up some weight, whatever you got to do to get it out. Do some squats. The ladies, we love doing squats. Do some squats, do some push-ups, whatever you have to do. that's so important for self-care. But the most important thing is really um sitting with your thoughts and recognizing, like, if you got to write them out, that's perfect. If you have to really, to really gauge, like, where's my head at right now, during this pandemic, man, people need to really, really find their quiet time, for sure, for sure. And I really talk about that with the women more than the time management and the trying to build your whole vision and trying to, we had this downtime or whatever, but you can't do everything all at once. Like, how you feeling about yourself right now? Where's your heart? Where's your mind at right now? Super important. Super important.
Absolutely. And just talking about as far as your efforts with women, especially like what is how is the audience? How is the community growing? How's it going for you as far as building that community of women and network?
Oh man, so my vast community, I love them, man. We growing slowly and steadily, which is the way I like it. Cause like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't need 99 of y'all coming, and at the same time, I want to make sure I handpick every single woman who comes into the group, into the community, because I want to make sure it's a space that's safe. I really advocate for like women's empowerment, so it's a place that actually empowers each other. It's not about, oh, what can you do for us here in the group? Like, I'm not worried about that. Like, God owns everything in this world, so you can't do nothing for me that he ain't already got, in the cards for me. So I'm not worried about what you could do for me. I'm worried about making sure you come into a safe space. As a woman, this is super important to really express to me, right? I played basketball from when I was 8 years old until I went to college, and I I always was a team player, right? But when I got in the midst of other circles of women, I'm not saying this is every single woman, because Lord knows I'm not one to badger women. Um, but like some spaces of women, like, they really mean to each other,
Mm.
from mother, daughter, auntie, cousin, all that. And I don't even think, I think it's so ingrained in some of them that they don't even realize that they tearing each other down. So once I realized that, I was like, oh, let me back up out of this, because I fight. And I just built my own community. No, hands and feet, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. But I just started building a community around me of women who were really like-minded. And that's what the vast community has become, a community of like-minded women. We want to sharpen our skills, our life skills. We're all just growth geared. So whether that means for our personal development or for our business, our finance, our physical, our mental, our emotional, we want the best for ourselves and those around us. And so that's why I handpicked the women, and we all come in. We've been growing together, and we took our first retreat this year. Well, I had my first vast community annual retreat, and it was awesome, man. We got to connect and just be there for each other and build bonds that are, just, I see them blossoming before my eyes, and I love that. I love that. Super important.
Absolutely, that vast community is based off here, like I said, the ebook, the vast method, and the V in the vast method. We talked about the accountability, the self care, and time management, but that V, that vision building. Talk about the importance of that, and just the I guess the purpose behind the vision building.
Right. The purpose behind a vision building is that part when I talked about earlier about that passion.
Mm.
When it comes to that discipline, how discipline, how you could really, gather that and put that in yourself.
Mm.
That's it started with the passion for the vision building. So like I mentioned earlier, in 2011, I had lost my kids, and I just was in a space like, wow, who am I? What's going on? Like, what's really happening to me? I was, um, my I'm African, right? So my dad is from 100% Muslim country, which lets you know, which lets most people know that it's very conservative, right? Though I'm a Christian, I was still raised in a household with that African man. Okay, so very conservative, but I was pregnant out of wedlock, and what was going on? Who was I? That's not who I grew up. or was taught to be.
Right.
That's not a hit on anybody else who it has experienced parenthood in that way. That's just not who I was raised to be.
Right.
And so I found myself between a rock and a hard place. And I just had to say to myself, like, who am I for real? Because what do I really want out of life? Because if I didn't care about that, like, if that really didn't matter to me, whatever, it's an experience. I experienced it. I'll do it again. But that's not really what I wanted. Um, and so I just kept a lot of prayer, a lot of reading, and a lot of trying to understand who I was as a woman. Just who was I put here to be as an individual, as a woman, and from there, you know, I just saw something really big,
Right.
and I saw aspire big, inspire bigger, and I've been able to sustain um, a push and a drive for more from seeing that. And I think that that is something that is so important for each individual person, man or woman, to have a vision for their life. Because no matter what is going on in this world, you have to be living for something. You have to. So vision building is super important. Every year we do vision board seminars. I got my little vision board over here. 2021, 2022 is coming up. It's going to be grand. And so, I just really use the vision board to really open up my desires for each year to come, and keep opening up more and more, peeling back the layers of that grand vision that I got in my mind back in 2011, for my life and for those who will be affected by my life in the most positive way as possible. So yeah, vision building is important. It's going to lead you to the promised land for real, here and thereafter. If that's what you believe in.
Absolutely. And like I said, this conversation is super dope. I knew it was gonna be dope when second I hit you up with it, just hearing you talk in the past. But like, I don't want to say you make it look easy because I know how much hard work you put behind it. But when you speak it, it's like, damn, it is kind of that simple if you just think about it long enough. Because that's me. For me as a person, I've dealt with mental health issues. I've dealt with self-doubt issues in my life. So like, hearing you talk about it is like, you know what, you're right. Just sit back, think about it, talk to yourself, give yourself that courage and belief. And of course, it takes work to get there. It takes work to get there and just keep pushing through it. And that's where that discipline, that accountability you're talking about comes into play. And I know you say your father was strict, but he did something right, man. He did something right. He
Yeah,
did something
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. That's my guy. Yeah, absolutely. He did everything right he could do. That's that's my me. I call him my me. That's my person right there. So yes, he did, and I do have to say something when it comes to that, because I don't want to make it look easy, because it's not easy. So inside story. I was just talking to my best friend yesterday, and she was like, I'm so proud of you and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, I'm scared out of my mind. Right. And she was like, yeah, but scared look different on you. You have something different about you when you scared.
Man. You're so
Right.
composed with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it be on the inside. I'll be like, I will wash y'all out here. Y'all trying me. But I know everybody doesn't have that fight, because everybody didn't have the life that I had. I definitely, from the inside out, I had to fight a lot against the negative thoughts,
Yeah.
um against the loss, disappointments in my life. Like losing your mom at 12 as a little girl, that's crazy. I know that was very hard. I don't even know another way to say it. Like, y'all have to understand
No,
the
no,
depth of that.
hey, that's
That's crazy. Getting to a certain age and losing kids as a woman. And this is something that a lot of other women will understand who have been in that predicament. Your body failed your kids. You. That's the last thing you want to fail your kids. Your own self. Oh my God. And there's other, life disappointments that all of us probably go through, little breakups, little family things, little, you lose other things, other relatives and stuff like that. And so, you know, who I am as a person, I am cool, calm, and collected for the most part. But I deal with that fear. The fear is real, and the fear will talk you out of success so fast, talk you out of joy and peace so fast. But my number one objective in life is to have peace and to not lose my joy. I don't want to wake up one day and get the desires of my heart, the deepest desires of my heart, and not be able to connect to them. So by any means necessary, I'm going to find my peace and my joy. So, being scared ain't going to stop me from doing that, because I got to get to them. Like all of the stuff that I've been through in the past, come on. I got to get the cake at the end of the party. I got to get my slice, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what, that's super important for me, to just let anybody and know that, sees this or hear this, like, you you can do it scared, and sometimes it might take you a little longer to do it because you're scared, but that's okay. Just still keep going forward. Keep going forward. If you got the days where you gotta cry, cry. Ain't nothing wrong with crying. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta be angry, be a little angry. Don't be mean to people, but be a little angry. Get in your room by yourself and write it down. How you feeling? It's okay. Those are just emotions. Those are feelings, and we all have them. You have the right to have those feelings, but that don't mean that you're doing the wrong thing because you're scared or you feel overwhelmed. Like, you be all right. Just keep pushing.
Absolutely, man. It's largely about like changing their mentality, and I kind of want to really ask you as far as like you mentioned before, as far as the support system and how no one does it alone. Through the trauma you faced in life, talk about the support system and just being able. Was there always someone there for you to lean on, so, or people you can talk to, or ways you can express it, or do you always just know how to kind of internally talk to yourself and get it out that way first?
Okay, so I think this is for everybody who deals with something super traumatic in their life. There's a point of healing that nobody could go with you. All
Mm,
right. So
right.
I don't care, what the trauma is. Nobody could go in there with you. But that's where the strength lies, where you build your strength. Um, some people, it has, broken them, unfortunately, but um, that's the time when other people, really have to try their best to come in and really do what they can, so they could at least get them up to par, at least so they could still fight. But there's a part of healing and a part of trauma that you can only go on by yourself. So of course I did that part by myself. But I definitely never was alone. Like I said, my father's my, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing out here with him. He's it for me. And my friends, my best friend, you know, my my cousin, she was really instrumental in being there for me when I lost my twins. Like, just being there, right? So yeah, there was people around me who were just there, just like, hey girl, how's your day going? And I read a little book, try to get a little smart while I was going through stuff. And I read when it was some type of devotion. I really don't remember exactly where it came from. It's probably like TD Jakes or something like that. And he was like, when you're going through stuff, just ask people how their day is going and be there for other people. Just serve. And it really, really helped me get out the hardest time. So um yeah, I was able to tap into all of the things that people did for me with a, hey, how's your day going? That was enough for me. And I was able to tap into more people's lives because I reached out to people like, hey, how's your day going? How are you doing? um and sometimes I only had the strength to do that, but once I heard back from them, I don't know, it gathered some strength for me so I could keep going on through the day and stuff like that. So yeah, everybody who was in touch with me when I was going through really pulled me through.
Man. And mentioning books, going back to the vast method. When did that light bulb go off your head and say, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm putting together this ebook. I'm going to put this out and build this community and start this. When did you say I'm ready to start this movement?
uh, well, the vast community started in 2014, but it was called Women in Noble Character. But everything is called Women in Noble Character, or like Wife in Noble Character, or Proverbs 31 Woman. Like, everything is called that, right? I'm gonna be super honest with you. I have no recollection of what started me saying V.A.S.T. No, it started the women's group. You know, like that's what started it was my life crumbling. And I had to be real with myself. Like I need friends. I need good people around me. You know, but calling it V.A.S.T. and really honing in on vision building, accountability, self-care, time management. Oh, it came out of nowhere one day. It came out of nowhere. I had this thing behind me and I had so many different words down and different acronyms and it's just boom.
I mean,
Actually,
it's a
I
dope.
remember now.
Good.
I'm sorry, I remember now. Uh there's this guy, his name is David Shands. I'm sure a lot of
Okay. Yeah.
people know who he
Sure.
is now, right? He
Yeah.
has a podcast, and on the podcast, he had someone come on. Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna forget his name like that. Don't do me like that. Um, tag
Well,
Marcus or something Rosier. I think it's Marcus. Why? Yes, Marcus Y. Rosier.
okay.
Sorry if I said his last name wrong. You know, this is why I tell people just call me Mo because you know the whole name be hard. So and he was like I I I like take ownership of people's minds when I leave certain words out. Like I'm wordsman and all of that stuff in the podcast. Y'all got to check out his podcast with David Shands. It's called Sleepers for Suckers or something like that. So you can get the full gist. But he was just he boomed off an acronym or two. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. And I had a couple of words written on my board and I said, boom, 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 V.A.S.T, vision building, accountability, self-care, and time management. So it was from that I was able to put V.A.S.T together, but the community itself, the premise behind it was already boom, was already moving before I put a name to it. And so I wrote an ebook on it because I wanted everybody to understand when I say vision building, when I say accountability, self-care, time management, what that really means and what we really work in the community every single week.
And that's dope because like just one to have that, just to have those words on your vision board already, and just the meaning of vast, the meaning extensive, meaning like this community goes to everyone is dope. Especially going back to what you were talking about earlier, as far as having that support system and knowing that everyone doesn't have it, and now you are building a support system for a vast community, and
Yeah.
that's very dope, man. Very very.
You see what I did there? It
That's
worked out. You
it. That's
see?
it. It's like you from Harlem and you got bars or something. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me?
But real quick before we get you out of here, like talk about aspire big and inspire bigger. I can only see you inspiring more people as time goes on. So I got to know, what is the next aspiration? What are the aspirations of the future for Mo and for the brand? What you're aspiring for?
I want the vast community to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to touch by 2022. I want to be able to touch 100 women. And have them be a part of a community that is like them, growth geared. They want the best out of life. They looking for the I heard uh the great Eric Thomas say, make the rest of your life the best of your life. And man, that's so real. Everybody talks about his line, like, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, like on those videos at the end when he says make the rest of your life the best of your life, I needed that when I was going through them times where it was only me in the trenches. I listened to him every single day, sometimes all day on repeat. I needed that. So for my community, I want 100 women to be in my community. That's what I'm working towards. And I
Man.
just
Yeah.
want them to have that backup, that cheerleader, that empowerment behind them, for sure. That's the goal for 2022. And that's the goal, man. Personally, I got a lot of things going on. So
And I mean, like
But
F4 site is amazing, and I think 100 is going to happen in a blink of an eye for you. Just by this conversation, just me talking to you now, I can only imagine the people you already done touched, and it's going to keep growing. I can see it for sure. Um,
God
what do you
willing.
see happening for the rest of 2021? Before we get to 22, I know you got some big things lined up. I know in June you had the V.A.S.T community event coming up. What else is going on with the V.A.S.T community and with Inspire Big? Inspire Big.
So every month I have a event and I have people come and speak to my community and I invite people from outside of the community to come and check it out. Um, so that's what's going on June 13th. But um, it's really sticking to the script. That's what's going on in 2021. Nothing huge, nothing crazy. I know at the end of the year I'm gonna do another vision board seminar. I'm gonna have a speaker or two. I'm just gonna keep moving forward and just sticking to the script is going to make the difference. I see the differences made just in these 5 6 months of this year, so it's out
Sky's
of
the
here.
limit. Sky's the limit. And
Yeah.
so, some major takeaways I'm taking from this conversation as we wrap it up here is that a big part of a big component to your mentality is putting pen to paper, uh, speaking into existence, talking those positive affirmations. If you don't mind, on the exit out of here, can we get one of them classic Mo daily affirmations? What was it today for us? Do you have any of those on your hand?
Today's affirmation. I got an affirmation for you today. I can tell you what it is. It is I am a magnet for great ideas today. Literally. Boom. Whatever you got to do today, uh, if you're relaxing, take that time to think of something great, write it down, put it up on the wall, and make it happen for the rest of the year, for however long it takes for you to make it happen. That's it. Be a magnet to it. You got it. It's coming.
Well, Mo, I'm humbly grateful for this conversation. One is dope for my platform to have you on here. It's dope just to connect with you and get more people to hear from you. But it's even dope because I feel like I learned a lot today. So I appreciate that. Please tell everyone where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can support the brand and the mission.
First, before I say that, I just want to thank you for having me here. I really, really appreciate you.
No
I
problem.
really do. Um, you can find me on Inspire Big, Inspire Bigger, Instagram, uh, Facebook, and coming soon. I've got a little website that I'm putting together, so
Mhm.
that'll be coming soon. So, but yeah, until then, Inspire Big on Instagram. I'm on there every day, and you can hit me up in my DM. Come on. I can't be Hollywood. I'm Harlem. So
And where can they find the podcast?
you can find the podcast on YouTube or anywhere that podcast stream.
Boom.
So I got a podcast coming out once a month, episode coming out once a month right now, and it's all people who are really really about inspiration, good people. So
Man,
that's what's going
super
on.
dope. Super dope. Thank you again, Mo. It's been an honor. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, keep inspiring and keep inspiring.
Bless.
Stay good, man.
Thank you.